Bookish Artist Mandy, and I'm coming at you today with day 10 of Colorvent. Almost called this Inkvent, but this is Colorverse Colorvent, and I am excited. They knocked it out of the park yesterday with that ink shimmer additive. I was so excited, so I'm really curious to see what happens today. So let's jump right in. Ooh, come on. Flame Nebula. The Flame Nebula in Orion seems to ignite as nearby starlight sets orange, hydrogen ablaze. Okay, all right. So I wonder, this is just my thought process right now. I wonder if their colors have kind of what, like they kind of go with a theme with their calendar or the way it looks, because last year's calendar was kind of a darker blue and weird, and we've got all this red and orange and beigey, like when you look at the ink additive. I wonder, I don't know, because this is an orange, so it'll be interesting to see by the end of it. But that would be, I mean, that's kind of cool that they do that, even if you get similar colors. But let's check this out. Okay, so I put a piece of paper over this yesterday. It wasn't fully dry right here, and just so the ink additive didn't get everywhere. But oh, look at that. I still can't get over how lovely that shimmer is. Okay, day 10, Mandy, focus. You want to keep these videos at 10 minutes. Let's do this. Maybe. Oh, gosh, those are on there tight. I'm, funnily enough, not always a fan of orange, but then this last couple months, I have been a fan of orange. So I don't know what's going to happen with this Flame Nebula. What color orange is it going to be? Orange is an ink that I don't have a whole lot of, but I do like the color oranges that I do have. So see if this is one that fits into my liking. I don't know. Orange is a hard one, I think. Okay, all right. It is, you know, I'm not gonna say I like it or I don't like it yet, just because I'm not quite certain how I'm feeling about it. But it is lovely, like so far. Yeah, let's see. I misplaced my Kakimori Nib, so I will be back. All right, here we go, Flame Nebula. I've been thinking about how I want to keep these Colorvent, I don't know, what do you call them? The descriptions, because I think they're really cool. Maybe I should save a page or two at the back of this and maybe do some like tip-ins, or I could tip them in here on each page. I don't know. What do you all think? What would you do? Because I think that I should keep them. I really like the idea of keeping them.
I'm pausing right here because I just spilled all my ink all over the table.
Okay, I had to take a moment to recalibrate and fix myself after the mess. It's fine. It happens. I did manage to salvage, you know, over half the bottle, but it's just a frustrating thing. But it happens, right? We all have had spilt ink. And there's that saying, no use over crying spilt milk. I guess maybe no use over crying over spilt ink, right? Except maybe if you really like the color. Okay. But I put this in my Jinhao 9019 in red. And this one has a medium nib. It is such a pleasure to write with. So I wanted to see just a red or orangey color. So as I was writing with it, I thought, oh, this looks so familiar to some of my other orange inks. And it's got a nice shading yellow quality. So this is probably the first time, I know this is the first time in this that I'm actually going to show you a comparison, just because I was like, really? So I have I have Diamine's Fireside Snug from, I think it was 2 years ago. Maybe it was last year's ink vent. And while it's not dry, the shading is a little bit different if you're using it in big swatches. But can you tell? There is no difference. There is literally, can you tell the difference? I can't whatsoever. Let me zoom in on that. Like, one of those is Fireside Snug, and one of those is Flame Nebula. They look exactly the same. So while, I mean, yes, it's a beautiful color. I do really obviously like Fireside Snug. I also, it's the same, and that's going to happen. And then, I mean, with orange, there's only so many oranges that you can have. It's very similar to all these other oranges, because this was an orange page, so that's why I put them here, because I had been playing with orange inks a while ago, but I only have one besides this one that's this burnt orangey color. Mostly what it comes down to is if you already have Fireside Snug and you missed out on the advent calendar for Colorverse, you can have this. And if you really like Flame Nebula, we wouldn't necessarily have to get this one to the finals because we can already get it. That's kind of where I'm at. They both work really great. I mean, and it's just kind of interesting when you place them right next to each other, how similar. I think Fireside Snug is a little darker in the shading, but it is almost virtually indistinct. And I think the only reason, yeah, I mean, I can't, looking at it in person, this one, when you do the twisties, is a little bit lighter, but not like that big of a difference, like really not. So that is something to think about if you're on the fence, because I don't know if at this point, can you still get the Colorvent? Maybe, but it is a lovely ink if you don't have Fireside Snug already. And it does do different things, because when you see down here, I did for this, I didn't do it on camera because, you know, issues with my camera dying on top of the spill. I took over here, what I basically did is I took this, and I'll just draw another one to show you. So what I like to do to get different shading properties, I will draw like this, and I'm not going to color that one in since I'm going to do this. So then this is half. So what I've been doing, if you've been following me, I'm doing studies for art. And one of them is this flat lay style. So you kind of notice even how, as I've studied, my art style has changed, especially for Rosie, because I'm trying to like incorporate those. So I like to let that layer dry. And then what I do is I go over and I color over that layer again. So then you're going to get a deeper layer. And I do that even with colors. I've talked about this before. Oh yeah, that bled. So let's not do any more of that, but then you can get the two shades. So it does do some really interesting things when it shades. Like there's some yellow in here, and I don't think Fireside Snug has that yellow. It is definitely more of a red toned, dark area. There's not lots of yellow when it pools. It's more red and brown. Yeah. So there is difference. There are differences. I just wanted to show you that. That's the only time that I've done this so far. Mostly because I don't know. I don't want to focus on the comparisons too much, because I know other people do that. But that just not shocked me, but it just surprised me how close those two are. As this dries, though, this dries so cool. Like, look at how that is drying, where it's like almost like a cloud within there, and this is drying definitely more black for the halo, where this is a more reddish brown halo. So just slightly darker for Fireside Snug. Anyway, I'm a fan. I don't know if it's going to beat out any of the other ones. I still am absolutely in love with this. I do want to put a bigger nib in my Twisby. But yeah, I think, it's really hard. What did I say in my roundup? Did I have my roundup in here? Back here? Yeah. What did I say number 1 was? Was Martian dust. Yeah. So Martian dust, I don't know. See, the hard part is Morning Frost on Mars is an additive, but I love it so much. And I still kind of want to throw a dot into this because I think that's going to be beautiful. And I do have my Leonardo, so that may be something. But right now, this is a nice ink. I like it. It's not going to dethrone Martian dust. However, look at least as far as I know. We'll see when I do more reviews, but this is really cool. It does do this like weird yellowish color in there. And I like that when you get it really in the dark. And you can see that even in the writing. So there's that. That is Flame Nebula for the day. And Rosie went shopping. And I didn't really talk a lot about that because yesterday she picked up the Snow Angel and she's starting to think about fulfilling that wish for the child. You know, I'm kind of coming up with this on the fly of seat of my pants, but you know, it's kind of fun. I'm really enjoying doing these stories. So I hope you're enjoying them too. And yeah, that's it for today. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you're doing the Advent, do you think that this one looks as much like Fireside Snug? I only did it on MD cream paper, so I want to try it on a couple other papers, but right now I'm digging this. I'm also digging that we have so many different colors. It's not just blue, it's not just red, it's all sorts of colors. The more I see the void, I do like it. And I'm starting to actually like the sun grazing comet. Like, what is going on? It's just, yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.